Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Ryan, listen up, right? Glad you get to join me on this Wednesday, kind of a rainy Wednesday out. Very quickly, and then we'll get down into some comments. We have a lot of time for that. Rather than just talk about UConn women's basketball, although that's what we love to do, rather than get into stats and games, wins, losses, I figure we have a little bit of fun. Now it's the off season, kind of trimmed down a little bit, and just focus on some stuff that doesn't really quote unquote matter. But this did to me, it mattered. That's why we're covering it, Ryan. And I know that you smiled about this. So I know like stars like Aaliyah Edwards, obviously Paige, not Paige, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, a whole lot of them, right? Shined on Monday. Was it Monday night? Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah.
WNBA draft, but one person took the spotlight, and she wasn't even being drafted. And all she had to do was get her phone out, Ryan, and that was the one and only Paige Bueckers. So I wanted to sit here and kind of talk to you about what a quote unquote class act she is. And what do you think about her stealing the spotlight and she wasn't even being drafted? What's it going to be like when she is drafted?
Yeah, I mean she could be the number one pick next year for next year's draft. So we get to look forward to seeing even more Paige Beckers in a year from now at the next draft. But what a draft night it was on Monday night. I called that it was going to be an all-time viewing record, and I would say it shattered the previous record. The previous viewership record for a WNBA draft was 601,000 views in 2004. On Monday night, the draft averaged 2.45 million viewers. So just unbelievable stuff. And we've been seeing it all season long. And I really hope that carries over to the W now with all those great players being drafted. And of course, two of those great players that were drafted were, of course, Aaliyah Edwards and Nika Muhl. Obviously, all of Husky Nation so proud of the two of them, but maybe the most proud of them all was Paige Bueckers. A video of her that we showed at the beginning went viral on social media of her recording Aaliyah and Nika as they were walking to the stage at the draft. And many people on social media were calling Paige a proud mom, the way she was trying to record with her phone and take pictures. So all around, just a very fun night for everyone. And I'm also glad not only Paige, but AZ, Caroline, and Aubrey were also there and able to see Aaliyah and Nika get drafted in person. But it was pretty funny seeing Paige kind of stealing the spotlight for a second, having her proud mom moment when her Husky teammates were drafted.
How about Aaliyah Boston tweeted out, Ryan? I don't know if y'all could see it, but Paige recording like a proud mama. So yeah, you said it right, Ryan. What a night that was. And again, I think my biggest takeaway, other than Nika and Aaliyah getting drafted, you said it right, and I don't think I can hear it enough. A lot of other people said it. We're going to look back at this draft class for a very long time. Like I can't remember, even in the second round. I mean, obviously, if you pay attention to women's basketball, you're gonna, especially college, you're going to remember all the names being drafted. But again, now we're not too familiar with the out of country players, right? That got drafted into the W. You and I do our research, get down into that, see who these young ladies are that are coming into the W from out of country. But with that said, I just think that it's, I don't know, man. I think that I saw a motto that said, got an email, the next chapter begins now. And I think that's very fitting because all these ladies talented, yes, but Caitlin Clark obviously is going to bring that. You saw the ticket prices rise. You saw, I think it's a new chapter. And I don't think you and I or anybody else has seen the WNBA growing like it is now. It's definitely a new chapter. And I did hear the commissioner what she says. They're trying to expand teams. They're going to by the next couple of years, I believe they're going to get some more. They're trying to get more teams. So it just seems like yesterday you and I were talking about it, but now all of a sudden it's starting to become reality. It's really starting to become reality.
When and I saw Serena Williams, I believe it was that tweeted out, not having the idea of maybe having an expansion team. So that could be really fun if that would happen for Serena Williams to be an owner of a WNBA team. So I know there's been a lot of talk about a Portland team. But we'll have to see. I think we're at a really good place right now with the viewership, and like I said, it's been happening all year at the college level. I know Caitlin Clark and all these women who got drafted are bringing so many new fans over to the WNBA, which is really great to see. So I think we're in a really good spot to see more teams coming, more expansion cities. And that comes with expanding the draft and having more rounds, more players drafted, which is what we've wanted to see for quite a long time now. So I think we're in a really good place.
All right, Washington Mystics select Edwards number 6 overall. Some comments from both videos, and then we will head out, Ryan, on this Wednesday. The disrupted one said, "You guys are probably pretty happy. I was hoping she would join Lou in Dallas." Well, Ryan was not happy. I was happy.
Yeah, I mean I am glad though that we get to probably see her now.
Yeah.
So maybe we go to a Mystics and Storm game so we can see both Aaliyah and Nika. That would be pretty fun. But yeah, I mean of course I'm happy for Aaliyah, and like I said, I think it's a great fit for her. I think she's gonna do good in DC with the Mystics. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Seriously, no, it does warm my heart because you said it right. Now, obviously, I don't have to pull the strings on Ryan so much to try to get him to go to Mystics games. I think it's going to be a lot easier now. So since she's this close to home, let's go over to Jason D'Amico, Ryan, if I can get the page down. Jason says this does good for my heart. Aaliyah deserves this so much. Can't wait to see what she does in the W. Peace.
Yeah, and like I said, of course, everybody has things that they can work on, but I think for Aaliyah, her immediate impact is probably going to be her defense, rebounding skills around the rim, and she has a wonderful mid-range shot as well. She's worked on a lot of her post moves, so I think she'll be, first that dominant forward that hopefully like we saw at UConn. I hope that transfers over to Washington, and I think as she continues her career, obviously working on the offense a little more, maybe expanding that range to the deep shot at some point in her career. But obviously, already a tremendous player, tremendous athlete. So I think she'll get off to a pretty hot start this season.
Jason, he is a workhorse. And let's go over to Jason again on the next video. We appreciate him for coming through on both. Actually, I think a lot of people did, so thank you. Jason says again on the Nika Muhl video, Ryan, the New York Liberty fans are not happy right now. They really wanted Nika and were chanting her name during the draft, joined by Paige. Again, I'm so happy for her. That said, Nika is going to have to put in some work on her threes and ball release. She can't have that robot release from 3 in the WNBA. Not gonna fly.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think Nika is definitely going to have to put a lot of work in on offense and making her shot better. But of course, again, her immediate impact is going to be similar to Aaliyah in the way they both play defense. But I think Seattle definitely got a pretty good player. Of course, I saw Sue Bird sent her a message, so that was pretty cool to see. But she won't be able to wear number 10, unfortunately, so she'll have to find a new number in Seattle. But I think obviously Nika has a lot to work on offense, but I think if she can provide that same mentality that she had with UConn, bringing her defense, that voice and kind of leadership role. I know she's just a rookie, but hopefully that'll develop over time, and we can see that with the Storm.
We love questions for Ryan and I, so keep bringing the questions. A couple questions, Ryan. Bruno said, "Going to be the next Sue Bird in Seattle." I mean, I want to say yeah, but I'm like no. So it's like a yeah no kind of feeling. I mean, everybody is their own person, but I mean sitting here right now, go figure. We look on this video 10 years later, and we're like, Phil was wrong. So, you got to watch what you say. But a Sue Bird, I don't know, Ryan. I'm not leaning towards that. I'm sorry.
Well, I would certainly hope so, but to try to have a similar career as Sue Bird definitely isn't easy. But it would be
Yeah.
pretty cool to see Nika kind of lead a team, and of course Aaliyah too, to a championship in their respective cities. So to have a similar career is going to be quite the challenge. But if Nika develops a better shot on offense and just working on her shot all around. I think definitely anything's possible.
Make no mistake, Nika and Aaliyah are great, but I'm not saying that you just have that mindset. You could be just like, just an okay player. I'm sure every UConn Husky, every lady in this draft, obviously, they go out and they practice hard, they work hard. But what I'm saying is, right, I mean, the harsh reality is if you're surrounded by great players, I don't know. I might get challenged on this comment. If you're surrounded by great players, you don't always need to be a future Hall of Famer to get rings. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. 914 Rocky says, I'm pissed at the Liberty. That was the perfect fit. I hope Nika makes the Storm. They have a lot of guards. She totally needs to shoot more in the W, although you are right. They have a ton of scorers already. You guys thinking backup point guard? Well, I'll leave that question up to Ryan. And Ryan, make sure you're aware, not all these ladies will make the WNBA roster.
Yeah, that is very true. And I think for Nika, maybe Seattle wasn't the, the most perfect fit, but I certainly think, of course, Seattle, like we said, has so many superstars, especially at the guard position. So, I think the first year or two, maybe, a bench point guard role might be the most realistic and viable option for Nika. But like we said, hopefully in the future, she can kind of develop into that role as the leader at the point guard position, like we saw at UConn. So hopefully one day that can kind of happen when these veteran players just decide to move on or retire. Hopefully Nika can kind of step into that leadership role.
All right, Ryan. Everyone has a will to win, but very few have the will to prepare to win. Hopefully, we already know what Aaliyah and Nika can bring. They can bring a lot. So, if I'm the owner of these teams, if I'm the head coach or general manager, whatever you want to call it, Ryan, I'm saying put Aaliyah. We already know she's going on roster, Ryan, but I'm saying put Aaliyah and Nika on them rosters for sure. How about that? Phil and Ryan, listen up.